Hey, friends. Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host, Nicole, for some hope-filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, joined today by my good friend, Cricket, to talk about the Great American Christmas movie of 2023, the Jingle Bell Jubilee. It stars Marshall Williams and Aaron Augustino. It was written by Joel Canfield, Lisa Canfield, Lori Hope, and Roz Mahoko. I apologize if I mispronounce any names there. It was directed by Ernie Barbarash. A city manager recruits the help of a childhood friend to save his town's Christmas charity event, while she attempts to set him up with her close friend. Welcome back to the podcast, Cricket. I'm excited to have you on today.
Well, I'm so happy to be here.
Of course.
A little bit. We've been trying to do this one for a little while.
Yes. Yep. I know it is January. Well, really almost February when we are recording this. But things have just gotten in the way and we haven't had a chance to record. So I'm glad we're getting to do it now.
Hey, anything to extend the Christmas feelings, I'm all about it.
Yes. Yes. Going into our first segment, what were your overall thoughts or hot takes about this movie?
So I wasn't quite sure exactly what this was going to entail. Obviously, when you hear, Christmas Jubilee, you think there's some sort of fascinating event that's going to surround itself on Christmas. So in the very beginning, I was so taken back first because of I think it was like one of the very first scenes where she is in her living room and she's looking at her cedar chest that her grandmother.
Yeah, I think that was the first scene.
Yes. And so I was like, oh, this is going to be so cool. You can kind of read between the lines when you see the sign and whatnot. So I was like, oh, it's going to be really cool. I wonder how this is going to play into this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I mean, there's a lot of different scenes that I really enjoyed, but that was one of the very first scenes that kind of grabbed my attention. It was
yeah, I thought it was a good first scene. And
it really set the tone for how that movie was going to play out.
Yeah, I thought that the whole cast was great. Great ensemble cast. I thought the script was very well done too. And I loved all of the costumes. All of Hope's outfits I loved.
Yes.
And Allison's too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me they were more subtle. They weren't more elaborate like some of the movies we see. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
everybody has a couple of nice outfits, but not everybody has like elaborate outfits for every occasion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I felt like it was a very good blend of costumes. One of my favorite things, and it's funny that you say that because I wrote it down to tell you, I loved his red sweater.
Oh, yeah.
He had on a jacket with the scarf and then that red sweater. Oh my gosh, he just looked so handsome in that.
Yes, he did. Yeah. I was going to say the guys looked very dapper too.
Yes, very dapper.
Yes. I loved the father-son relationship between Nate and Brandon. I thought that was sweet.
Yes, very sweet. I like that too.
Yeah. I liked seeing Marshall as a father because I don't think he's been in that type of role a whole lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen that many movies with him. I guess he's known for like the one called Ice Road or something. I've never seen that movie. But I have seen him, and the one that I do remember him in, I believe it was Love Strikes Twice was one of them, and then Amazing Winter Romance that I have not seen, and I have to see that movie because it looks so cute.
It is cute from what I can remember, and I've actually not really watched Love Strikes Twice yet, but I need to watch it. Yes. Because I heard that was a good one.
Very good.
I think one of my favorite parts of this movie was the aspect of giving back.
Yes.
To the community. Yeah.
I can remember growing up in a family who didn't have a lot of money. Every year the school system, and I was so embarrassed about it, but the school system would help needy families, and I just remember that it made a huge difference in our community and in my own family. So I was very pleasantly surprised to know like this is what this movie was going to be about. So I think it's an amazing attribute to give, during the holiday.
Yes, I totally agree. And I actually wouldn't mind seeing another movie with these characters to see where Hope and Nate are.
Yes.
After that wonderful ending scene.
I think a sequel would definitely be something to throw out there. Because we didn't get to explore that relationship with them. So they led up to it.
Yeah.
Then
and
it was
even Andy and Allison too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'd like to see some scenes of them when she goes to the hockey games and he comes up and maybe gives her a kiss when she's behind the box.
That would be cute. Yeah. Going into our next segment, which of course is holiday highlights. Would you like to go first and share some of the best or key moments that stood out for you?
I'm trying to think because I know it's so busy during this, film, as far as them planning everything. And I think one of the biggest moments for me was when, they had gone to the mayor and they had pitched the idea of them doing this, regiftment to help with the charity donations. I think the key moment for me was hearing her give her little speech and tell the mayor about this project and how it affected her as a child, how her grandmother did this. And then when they get the okay, but then he's going to go ahead and project it out there, and he's worked in government and this is what he did for his campaigns. But he wasn't touching on the personal, in person, real life message, if you will. And I thought that was a key moment because he didn't get it. At first he didn't get it.
That was one of my favorite scenes too. And then I also loved at the very beginning when Hope and Allison are in Hope's classroom and they are talking about her decorating the cedar chest, Regiftmas, and how they wish everyone did it. And I love when Allison says, "You are the eternal optimist." I thought that was a sweet moment. And Allison is the vice principal of the high school. Just a little fun tidbit there. What did you think about Nate and Hope's meet cute / reunion? Because they were in high school together and they had the same calculus class.
Yes, I thought it was very cute. It was kind of like she knew who he was and he kind of knew who she was. So yeah, it was very cute. I mean, I couldn't imagine working at a high school and then you got to come back with your, son or daughter and then meet the person of somebody that you knew back then. That would be cool.
It kind of made me laugh just a little bit when Nate mentions how he never forgot this place. And she's like, "You mean this room?"
He's like, "Huh?"
Because he thinks that his English class was in that same room.
Yes.
When they were in high school. Yeah. And then Allison and Brandon come in the room and they're talking about the cedar chest again, which was her grandmother, Helen's, and how Regiftmas got started. I thought that was a sweet moment too.
Yes, it really is, because he kind of realized what she was doing and thought it was a really cool idea, to I think it's great for kids to get involved.
Yes.
Because children don't realize the impact of things, you know what I mean? They put a label on it sometimes as an embarrassing thing or, whatever. And I think that, to get a whole school involved in it to help other people is just, it's a really.
Yes. And just a little backstory for any of you listening who have not watched the movie yet. The story goes that Hope's grandmother, Helen, was a teacher too, and she started the tradition when Hope was a little girl. She used to say that Christmas had become too much about shopping, about getting things, when most of us have been given so much already and had so many things we didn't use. So she thought that there should be more gratitude involved and, of course, giving back. And that's how Regiftmas was born.
Yes. I thought it's really cool. I would love it if somehow, some way, like Great American Family could do that, like in real life.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
I mean, they kind of have Christmas is not canceled, you know? But what
Yeah.
about, doing it like on a mass scale?
Yeah.
So cool
Yeah.
to be able to do something like that,
Yeah.
even in your own community or, something like that. But
Yeah.
anyway, that was just something I had thought about when I was watching the movie.
I agree. It would be a good idea.
Yeah. It'd be really
So
cool.
if you're listening, Bill Abbott.
Yes. And that could be the introduction to the second movie.
Yes.
Based
Totally
on
agree.
true events. See?
Yes.
They could come and film, better yet, sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Whoever the winning, place was, city, town, whatever, they could go and film their movie there. See?
Great idea. We get to the scene with Hope and Allison at the Pine Cafe, and they're trying the dark hot chocolate. And this is when, they're having a conversation. First, it's about what movie they should go see, and then it's about Andy. And before we get into the part of the discussion with Andy, Christmas at the drive-in, was that a mention, or was that a shout out to Danica's movie from a year ago?
It was kind of resembling that. I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah, I called that. I was like, was that an intentional shout out to Neil and Danica's movie?
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, I thought that was nice.
Yes. Okay, real quick in that scene. And then there's another scene too where Nate and Hope are drinking drinks.
Yes.
I just have a little pet peeve on that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Those drinks were not real. They never drank them. I'm sorry. I spot this stuff and I know it's horrible and I'm not trying to.
It's okay. No.
Writer. I am no producer, whatever. But those drinks did not move. The liquid in them did not move. They looked like they were just like candles.
I didn't even think about that.
The thing of it is I was like, oh my God, that drink looks so good. When is she going to take a drink of it? I want to see the hot cocoa or the whipped cream come up. Nothing. I'm expecting that now,
Yeah.
But nothing. But anyway, that was just my little pet. If you're going to make a drink that looks that good, you better be drinking it.
Have you ever had dark hot chocolate? I've had regular hot chocolate.
No, I love all creations of hot chocolate. I do like dark chocolate, hazelnut, hazelnut, dark chocolate, whatever. But I like to create different varieties of hot chocolate. So I add things to mine. One of my favorites is a vanilla, chocolate.
Wow.
I actually, when I was in Okinawa, I had the little barista guy that was in our little lobby and create this drink for me. Of course, now they have them, but they may not be the same. But yeah, so I love a vanilla. It's a white chocolate, not a dark chocolate or a milk chocolate.
Yeah.
It's a chocolate, white vanilla hot chocolate.
That does sound really good.
Yes, it's very good. Very good.
Going back to the conversation with Hope and Allison, Allison mentions to Hope that she's interested in Nate, but she doesn't want to pursue anything if Hope has feelings for him. And I thought that was really sweet.
Yes, that is very sweet because not too many people would, say that. And I think that she says in the same conversation, and she's like, and she goes, but you always tend to give everybody else what you want. Yeah. So I thought that was really sweet. And
yes,
people who have a good heart, and tend to do those things.
Yeah, agreed. And Hope also suggests that Allison and Nate go on a double date
Yes.
with her and Andy
Mhm.
to look for a Christmas tree.
Yes.
And I loved the Christmas tree scene. What did you think about that?
I thought it was cool. I like the
Yeah.
fact that they actually had lights on the trees.
Yeah.
That's a
Because
different,
sometimes I don't. Yeah.
like on a Christmas tree farm. It's a different
Mhm.
take on picking out your tree because you do want to see it when the lights are on. So
Yeah.
you get a different perspective when the lights have actually been put on the tree. It
Mhm.
may not be exactly the same way you would do it, but it gives you an idea of what you're looking for. So I really like that take on the Christmas tree farm there.
Do you have an artificial tree or a real tree?
I have an artificial tree. I have
Me too.
never
Yeah.
had a real tree ever in my life.
No,
Nope.
we haven't either. I love the smell of them. We're always
Yes. Yes.
afraid to get a real tree though for inside the house.
Mhm.
Because I think I already mentioned this on a past episode. The bird on the top of the tree incident. We're always afraid there's going to be an animal lurking
The tree. Yes.
/ hiding in the tree, like a squirrel
Can you imagine?
or a raccoon.
A raccoon, right? Oh, that's too fun.
Although I don't know if raccoons like Christmas trees, so
I don't know. They do like trees.
yeah, so maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I've always had an artificial tree, always.
Yeah, same. That's what
Uh-huh.
that one is right there. And yes, I still have my tree up.
It's all good. Like I said, any way to extend the Christmas feelings, I am all for it.
Yes. I wish I had a picture of the bird that perched itself on top of our tree because that was hilarious.
Yeah, that is definitely a moment that you will never forget. Was he singing?
No.
Oh, bummer.
Oh. It was funny, but then not funny at the same time because we had a bird in our house.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A bird in your house is like a bat. Like, something that you are trying to get out of there. A bat's a little different, I guess, but a
Mm-hmm.
bird is like going crazy because it's trapped. And so it
Yeah.
flies everywhere and anywhere. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine, poor thing,
Yeah.
scared out of his mind.
Yeah. Going back to the Jingle Bell Jubilee, I loved the scene with Hope and Brandon when they are talking about the Larchmont Falls yearbook from 2002 and how Nate is in the yearbook, of course.
Yes. Yes. With the hair.
Yes. And I laughed when Brandon said, "What a weird haircut," and Hope's like, "Him or me?" And
Right.
he's like, "Definitely him."
Yeah. And then they showed the picture.
And of course, Nate comes in, and first it was just Nate and Hope talking about how Brandon was helping her bring boxes of re-gifts for wrapping. And then they go into the yearbook, and Nate sees the photo, and they also talk about sampling food for the Jubilee. And funnel cake was mentioned. Have you ever had funnel cake before?
Yes, I have had funnel cake before.
I've
I
never
love
had funnel
it.
cake.
Very greasy though. That's the only thing. It's very, very greasy. So I can't eat a lot of it, but a few
Yeah.
bites good with. Um, I've had it at the fair a couple of times. So, but I have to say, one of my most favorite things that I had was a deep fried Oreo.
I've never had one of those or
Oh
funnel
my
cake.
God. It was so good. I have to admit, I'm not gonna lie. It was really, really
Yeah.
good.
I
But
know those are big things at fairs and stuff.
yeah, I've seen the ding dongs and the
Yeah.
Twinkies and all that, but I had never seen an Oreo. And my daughter and I went to Indiana Beach
Mhm.
last summer and we got one there.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Yeah.
So, but oh, one thing I was going to say though about that scene that you were mentioning
Yeah.
was I like how he said, "You kidnapped my son."
Oh, yes.
Thought that was cute.
Yeah, I didn't write it down, but that was really cute. I used to like Twinkies all the time. I haven't had one in a very long time, but I used to like them.
Yes. I haven't had a Twinkie in a while or a ding dong. Um, the last little bit of like boxed, treats, if you will,
Yeah.
um, was I'm hooked on these things, and I'm glad they only come around once a year. Well, actually, no, they do have them now. They have them in the
Yeah.
Hero Justice League, but
Mm-hmm.
they have the Elf on the Shelf Petty Fours. Have you seen those? They're
Mm-mm.
like, oh my gosh, they come in a little pack of two, and they're
Mm-hmm.
like layered different layers of cake with chocolate on them.
Yeah.
So good.
Maybe sometime I can try funnel cake.
Yeah. Well, you got a
Or
lot to do. You got movies to watch. You got funnel cake to eat.
a deep fried Oreo to eat.
That's right. Exactly.
I think one of my favorite scenes with Nate and Hope is when she gets to the place where the Jingle Bell Jubilee dance is. And I guess it's just the main building in town. And they're talking about everyone donating for Regiftmas and Allison. And then they take the photo booth photos. That was cute.
Yes, with the Mr. and Mrs. Claus or whatever.
Pause. Yep. And of
Yeah,
course, Hope's eyes are closed.
yes, just like her dad. I think they said her dad. She said her dad always closed his eyes in their photos. And then
Yeah.
I thought it was really cute because in our town we don't have anything like that. They do like a festival at
Mm-hmm.
Christmas, but it's
Yeah.
all open outside. Like I would love if
Yes.
our town did something like that. So
Yeah.
they have those memories and reminisce, and
Mm-hmm.
that was a really cute scene. I love how he was being so like technical, and saying, "Oh, I can do this now. I have the button," or whatever, and
Yeah.
kind of playing and flirting a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you ever taken Christmas photo booth photos before?
Um, trying to think. It wasn't actually a photo booth, but one
Mm-hmm.
year, one of the jobs I used to have when I worked in podiatry, they had where you could do the little props, and
Mm-hmm.
so you put like
Yeah.
mustaches on or Santa hats or something.
Yeah.
So we did like selfies with that, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't actually like where you put your head into it and take a picture of a Santa.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. I actually did it a couple years ago. Well, not a couple because it's over 10 years now,
Okay.
but I went to a Christmas concert for Michael W. Smith on his Christmas tour that he has every year. And this was in 2013. I was at opening night in Murfreesboro, Tennessee on December 1st. So it was the first day of December.
Nice, nice.
And the girl that opened for him, she was on American Idol earlier that year for season 12, I believe. And I had met her on the Idol tour when they did, that concert in Charleston. And so, flash forward to December, me and then another girl I'm friends with got to hang out with her for about an hour after the show. And one of the things we did was take Christmas themed photo booth photos. And I actually have it right here in front of me. And I just thought that I would just go ahead and show it because the photos are priceless.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. That is awesome.
It was really fun. We had a good time.
I bet. It's always
Yes.
fun when you can like just, let
Yeah.
your guard down and just have silly fun.
Yes. Another favorite scene of mine was the wrap party with Hope and Nate, Allison, and Andy. And Andy's gift wrapping cracked me up.
If you've never actually gift wrapped anything, it's not that easy. I remember
Mm-mm.
my mom taught me how to wrap presents. And
Yeah.
so to this day, I still use her guidelines in a sense, to wrap
Mm-hmm.
presents. But
Yeah.
I'm not good at all the bells and whistles, like
Mm-hmm.
the bows and then tying the ribbon around it.
Yeah.
I can give you a perfectly wrapped box or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
with minimal paper being used. I can do
Yeah.
that. But as far as the glitz and glamour, I still need work on that.
Mm.
But yeah, his style is definitely different.
I'm sure your wrapping is great.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm not the best gift wrapper either.
I really feel like as long as it's covered, then we've done well.
Yes. What was it that he wrapped? Was it a lampshade? Or was it like a bowl?
I think it was a bowl. Wasn't it a bowl?
I don't
I don't know.
know.
I can't remember now either. You stumped me, Nicole.
I don't think they really said. I was just curious.
I don't remember.
Based on the shape of the wrapping. Because
Yeah.
it looked like it could have been a lampshade or a bowl. So
Yeah, we'll go with that. Now I gotta go back and watch now.
And the way he put the bow on the
Oh yes.
like the stick-on bow.
Yes.
I like the little conversation with Andy and Allison about hockey, and he offers to leave tickets for her.
Yes.
For games. I thought that was sweet.
Very sweet. I mean, she's a big fan of hockey and she's always wanted to go. And he's like, "Oh, I can make that happen." And she's like, "Really? How cool would that be able to have that opportunity?"
Yeah. Yes.
I
also can't go by without mentioning the awkward interaction between Hope and Andy. That was
Yes.
She's like, "Are you okay?"
Right. And he's like, "Yeah.
You're nice. You're nice."
Nice, yeah. It's kind of weird because I didn't understand the dynamics between them, even though I had the background.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
No, it was hard for me to understand that in a sense. They must have stayed pretty good friends after they stopped dating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm glad they stayed friends. That's always nice.
Yeah, because then that helped Allison too,
Yes. And then, of course, the brief talk and almost kiss with Nate and Hope.
Yes, in the kitchen.
Yes.
By the sink.
Yes. I thought that was sweet.
I was like, how could you not go through with that? That was
I know. They're very close. They were very close.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Also, when Andy goes to talk to Nate while he's at work.
Oh,
and he's acting all nervous, like he's messing with the pins and
yes. It was funny. That scene, I have to say, they both played that scene so well because I clearly it was such an awkward moment, but then it just played out so well. Like they couldn't have done that scene any better. Like he really played the nervous Nelly, if you will, of like trying to beat around the bush to tell him what he's trying to say without saying it. And I think Nate was prompting him. He's like, "Well, is there something else you want to tell me?" And he's like, no. And then he sits down and he starts going again. And you're like, he's going to tell him. He's really going to.
Yeah. He's like, "I need to talk to Hope about something important."
Right. I was very confused. I was like, what is he trying to say here? I mean, you kind of know because we know the backstory a little bit more, and we pick up on it. So it's here for us to understand it. But I thought that scene was really well done.
Yes. And when he's leaving, he's like, "See you later, boss."
Yeah. And I'm sure Nate was like, "Okay, I don't know what just happened there."
Later that night, I believe, Nate and Hope are at his house and she's helping him wrap the gifts. And then they go on talking about, Andy's gift wrapping techniques. And I like when Hope says, "With great regifting comes great rewrapping."
Yes.
And then they talk about the interactions that both of them had with Andy that were, awkward, of course.
Yes. And they're like both thinking things, but they're so on the wrong page.
Yep.
I thought that was interesting. But it could go either way.
Yeah. Nate thought that Andy wanted to rekindle. Yeah.
Because at first I thought he was going to say no, he's not going to pop the question. That's not what he's thinking, is he? Because that would be a dramatic thing,
Yeah.
That's a little, because even Hope was kind of like, "What do you mean?"
What do you mean?
Right, what?
Yeah.
So I was waiting for her to think that too, because that was my first thought when he said it the way he said it. So
yeah.
that would be a little quick.
Yes. Agree.
So it was the scene when we were talking about the Christmas trees.
Yeah.
So when Andy and Hope are looking at the Christmas trees, Andy wanted to go with her because he called her the tree whisperer.
Yes.
And I thought that was the cutest thing because it says her 4 criteria. It was not too tall, not too small, good branch distribution, and not dried out. And I thought that was really cute. I wrote that down because I really thought that was cute. Because we're going to pick out a tree, that's important. And she is the tree whisperer. So
yes, I agree.
But yeah,
I didn't write it down, but I loved that moment as well. And while we're there, I also loved the talk that Nate and Hope had about him opening up to love again. I thought that was sweet.
Yes, it was very sweet. I can't imagine trying to move on after something happening like that. It's bad enough when you are in a relationship that ends, but to have that person taken from you, I can't imagine, it would be so difficult. So, especially around holidays. I mean, yeah.
Skipping forward to the scene with Andy and Hope when he finally tells her or asks her the question that he has been wanting to. He mentions that he's interested in Allison, and Hope tells him that she thinks Allison feels the same way. And I thought that was a really nice moment between two friends.
Oh yeah, definitely. And to be okay with everything, because Andy was worried she wasn't going to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Obviously he went and talked to Nate about it too, so it's just funny to me though, because it kind of plays in the whole how guys react sometimes. And not every guy does this, but the majority of guys or men, have this idea in their head that it's going to be a big dramatic scene. They change something, and so that was, I thought, was really cute because I think Andy was very surprised by her reaction and said, I think she likes you too.
Yeah.
So,
and before he actually said it, I love how Hope was like, Andy, just say it.
Right. Just tell me.
Just get it out.
Get it out. Don't make me wait any longer here. What are you going to say?
Yes. Of course, after that, Hope and Allison have a talk, and it's about Nate. Allison mentions that they have a lot in common, but a romantic relationship won't work. And I think she even said that their dates were starting to feel like business meetings.
Yeah.
Instead.
Big red flag.
Yeah.
Big red flag. Yeah. I think they were okay. He was just denying his feelings for Hope.
Yes. Yeah. And I loved Nate's reaction when Allison walks off with Andy and Hope tells Nate, and he's like, wait, really?
Yeah, like, seriously? He was kind of taken aback by it.
Yeah.
What? Like, oh, okay. Kind of all the puzzles fit together now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, we get the conflict with Nate and Hope after their talk when he says that, it's been great spending time with her. And, she kind of took that as like past.
Yes. That moment was kind of like sad to me. I like felt bad for her.
Yeah.
He was trying to say that he wasn't ready. And maybe in the back of his mind, he really wasn't. But at the same time, he wasn't open to trying. And, I think maybe he thought since Andy and her didn't work out that she wasn't ready to go anywhere. Maybe he thought he was doing her a favor too, but in actuality, it was crushing her.
Yeah, I was going to ask what you thought about the conflict in this movie.
Yeah, it was definitely conflict. I did not see it coming in that part, in that aspect, if you will, because I thought things were going so well between them. But yeah, when that defining moment was when she said, well, do you not want me to come, or do you want me to come? And he's like, no. It's like, I want to smack him and go, and bam, like, wake up, dude, wake up.
Yes, I agree.
I don't, condone violence or anything. I'm not,
No.
but I really wanted to be
Yeah.
like, time out. Let's cut this scene right here for just a second and let me just pull him aside.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. I also really loved the scene when Nate and Hope took the stage with the mayor, and the mayor does his speech and mentions that they will be receiving special recognition medals to honor everything they've accomplished for the town.
Yes, I thought that was a sweet gesture on the mayor's part.
Yes, it was. And then we get the Jingle Bell Jubilee dance, and Nate and Allison have a little short dance, and I thought the advice that she gave him was really sweet, and then he admits his feelings for Hope.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then Hope shows up.
Yes. I thought it was strange because at first, the song ended and everyone was clapping. And then right at the moment she comes walking in, they're all still stopped, and then everybody just stops. And it's like all eyes are on her.
Yeah.
And so it was funny to me because, they made reference to this is what the people wanted, let's give them what they want.
Yes.
And I just, remembered that in the back of my mind. And then when she goes up to him and she says she needs to break in Allison and Nate's dance. Cut in. So I thought it was very sweet.
Yes. And they lived happily ever after.
Well, no, we don't know. That's why we want that second part. See?
Yes. Well, it's believed that they lived happily ever after.
In that moment, they looked happily ever after, for sure.
Yes. And I have to say, when Hope comes in, it kind of reminded me of like a classic Disney movie moment when
you know what it reminded me of?
Like Cinderella when she
Yes. I was gonna say that in Ever After when Drew Barrymore comes up and she's got her wings on and all her glitter on her face and everybody stops to look at her and she's standing there. It was the same kind of thing. It wasn't as dramatic, but that was the feel that I got too. So I totally agree with that.
Like classic Disney movie, Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast, even though that was really just like one person.
Right.
Also, A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray. One of my favorite movies.
Yes.
One of my favorite rom-coms. That's not Hallmark.
It's funny that you say that because my daughter the other day, I don't know why, but I go through this phase where I watch all Cinderella movies in one day. So I'll go pick through all my favorite Cinderella movies and I'll watch like 3 or 4 of them in one day. And she's like, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "I'm just feeling that kind of moment."
Oh, that one is a good one.
Yes, that's my favorite. Ever After is my favorite. And then there was a newer version. I think it was the Disney one where it has the big blue dress in it. I can't remember who the girl is in it. And then the newer one too. There's been a couple different ones that are out now that I just love. So
was it the live action Cinderella? Is that what you're talking about? Maybe.
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah. With Lily, I can't remember her last name. Lily something.
Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe that might be her.
It came out a while back.
Well, there's one that has a lot of dancing and music in it too, and I've seen that. It's the one before that one that I really, really love.
I know there's one with Selena Gomez and Drew Seeley that is a.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, that one was good. I liked that one too.
Yeah. There's so many different versions of it, and then I just saw one too the other day called Cinderella in the Caribbean or something.
I've never seen that.
Yes, I saw that one just the other day. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And it was so funny because I had just stopped watching my other ones, and it was like right before I went to bed, and my daughter went to her room, and I just happened to turn on the TV, and this started, and I'm like, "Oh, what's this movie?" And I said, "Oh my gosh!" Like it could not be even more perfect after watching all those, and then this one didn't even do it by came on.
Going back to the Cinderella movie with Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray, I just have to mention this because it's kind of funny. The one that plays the mean girl, Julie Gonzalez, she's now on Hallmark. And
that's too funny. Yeah, that is so funny. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. The scene when Hilary's character is coming down the stairs at the masquerade ball in the dress. And, Julie's character and her posse are all hanging out and, watching her arrive. Yeah. It kind of made me laugh, but kind of roll my eyes at the same time when she was like, Love the dress.
Yes.
Hate her.
Hate her. Yes. Yeah. Well, it's so funny because, especially at a function like that or an event or something like that, there's always a few people that just stand out more than other people, and you
Yeah.
say, oh my God, they're so beautiful. And you kind of wish that you had that dress or you wish they were them for a little bit. But it was kind of funny to me because it was kind of real life. Like,
Yeah.
Even though I would never say that, like I hate her, but nothing like that. But,
Yeah.
that was more realistic, I think, than, a lot of other things that could have been seen.
Yes. But anyway, we went down the rabbit hole a little bit with Cinderella movies. Always happens, but that's okay.
Right? It would not be an episode taping, Nicole, if we didn't go down some rabbit hole.
Yeah, agreed. But this is always so much fun. And thank you again for joining me. I had a great time, as always.
You're so welcome, Nicole, and thank you for having me. It was so much fun.
Of course. I can't wait to have you back on again in the future.
Can't wait either.
All right, everybody. I think that wraps up our review of the Jingle Bell Jubilee. If you enjoyed this episode, you can like this video and share your thoughts on the movie in the comments. If you want to stay up to date on all of my episodes, you can subscribe to this channel and make sure to turn on the bell so you are alerted when new episodes come. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next time. We love y'all. Bye.